Planning Zoning Commission for the City of Granbury will now come to order at 6 p.m. on Monday, July the 8th, 2024, Granbury City Hall, City Council Chambers. Our first item on the business tonight is public comments on agenda items which are non-public hearing agenda items. That would be any public comments on our consent agenda or our monthly plat approval report, or do we have anyone that would like to speak on any of those items? If not, we'll move on to item C on tonight's agenda, which is our consent agenda. It's approval of our regular meeting minutes from April the 8th, 2024, and our regular meeting minutes from June the 10th, 2024. Do I have any motion, or do we have any corrections?
Chair, I've made a suggested correction to staff who has updated the June 10th minutes to correct a typo. So with that, I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Have a motion by Mr. Haves to approve the consent agenda with the clerical correction. Do I have a second?
No, second.
Second by Mr. Moore. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sorry, I was trying to count heads to see if I had to vote or not while we were doing that, but I don't. Okay. The next item on the agenda is D1. Public hearing, consider the request of Blackburn Ranches, LLC to rezone a 4.390 acre tract of the Milan County School Land Survey, abstract number 348, from interim holding IH to planned development light commercial PD/LC. The property is located on the west corner of U.S. Highway 377 and Pirate Drive. Cody?
Good evening, Ms. Chair and Commission. This is located at 2101 West U.S. Highway 377, and looking at the map, it's actually that most northern point right there, and it's going to be 4.390 acres with road frontage on US 377 as well as Pirate Drive. The proposed zoning is PD, planned development, light commercial. They're going to develop a convenience store with truck fueling in the rear. The current zoning is IH interim holding, which is an agricultural use or a designated zoning when it is annexed into the city. And the applicant is proposing, like I said, a convenience store with fuel pumps and truck fueling in the rear of the property. There is a moratorium development agreement to allow for temporary septic system until the moratorium is lifted. Here's just a rundown of some of their requests from their variance table. These are the biggest highlighted ones that would be changed to the actual ordinance that we've got. To allow for convenience store with fuel pumps in light commercial and truck stop fueling in light commercial. They're going to provide more than 25% parking, or 25% allowed parking to overpark is what our ordinance allows for. They're requesting 45% to overpark. Meaning they're going to provide up to 45% more parking spaces than what is required. And then they're going to plant smaller trees, smaller caliper trees, and more shrubs and more ornamental grasses. This is the proposed site plan. The small vehicle fueling is up front near 377. The building's in the middle. There will be a little dog park relief area to the east of there, next to Pirate Drive, and then in the back is going to be the truck fueling, and the bigger island in between that last drive and the truck fueling is where their OSSF, their septic fields, are going to be. And here's the proposed landscaping. On June 27th, city staff mailed out 4 public notices to the property owners within 200 feet on the municipal tax roll and within 200 feet of the subject property. It was also placed in the Hood County newspaper on June 22nd, and at this time there have been 0 letters opposing or in favor of. And staff recommends approval of the request to rezone from interim holding to PD light commercial. The voting options for tonight: recommend approval of the zoning change or recommend denial of the zoning change.
Well, thank you, Cody. Is the applicant here? And if so, would you like to speak?
We're here, but we'll answer questions.
Okay. Any questions, commission members, for the applicant? I guess you're off the hook. Okay, any questions for staff? Okay, we'll open the public hearing, and do we have anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this agenda item? If not, we'll close the public hearing, and I'll entertain a motion on the rezoning request, please.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion for approval of the zoning change.
A motion by Mr. Hallman to approve the rezoning change as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Erdman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Second item on agenda tonight is consider the request of Phil Hope to amend a planned development multifamily PDMF zoning to planned development townhome PDTH zoning located at 1410 Crawford Avenue. Cody?
Y'all might remember this one. It has come through at one point for a multifamily PD. The applicant is now wanting to do a townhome. It's more suitable for them. It's 6.184 acres right up on the lakefront. There is a plat application that has been submitted. It is currently not platted. The preliminary plat's going through the processes. And the current zoning is PDMF multiple family, and they're proposing moving it to townhome, planned development townhome. And the applicants, like I said, proposing to develop a residential townhome community with pool and lakeside amenities. There is a preliminary plat going through the processes, and there is a moratorium development agreement for an OSSF until the moratorium is released. So their project requests, the max height is allowed 35 feet. They're requesting 45 feet. Interior side yard is 15 feet by our ordinance. They're requesting 0 since it will be townhomes and no lot in between the units. The rear yard is required 20 feet. They're proposing 10 feet. Lot depth is 100 feet. They're requesting 60 feet. And the impervious coverage per lot is 70% max. They're requesting 85%. The roof pitch of the dwellings, the city by ordinance requires 4 by 12 pitch. They're requesting 80% of the dwelling unit to have a 4 to 12 and 20% of the unit to have a 1/8 to 12 roof pitch. And the amenity center is required a 4 to 12 pitch, and they're requesting a 50% 4 to 12 and a 50% 1/8 to 12. This is the proposed site plan. And the landscape plan's broken into 3 different cut pages. So this is near the docks and the amenity center. And these 2, one's near the front entrance and one is towards the back of the property. On June 27th, city staff mailed out 13 public notices to all property owners within 200 feet and on the municipal tax roll within 200 feet of the property. Notice was also published in the Hood County newspaper. At this time, there are 0 letters in favor or against. And staff recommends approval of the request to rezone from PDMF to PD Townhome. Voting options for tonight: recommend approval of the zoning change or recommend denial of the zoning change.
Hey, Cody, thank you. Is the applicant here, and if so, would you like to speak?
We're here. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, commission members?
Yes.
Okay, yes, if you'll please come to the podium. And are we still needing to turn it on when you get there, please, sir? If you'll please turn, well, Cody got it, thank you.
Cody, could you also go back to the slide that shows what is permitted and what's requested, please?
The first one or the second one?
That one, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cody, how many units are we talking about? I know you put it up there and I could have counted them, but
58.
58.
That was one of my questions, was how many units is going to be in here? Because you went from, was those single-family homes before or luxury? Go ahead.
They were going to be the same as these townhomes. We just thought it would be a lot better for the future owners of these lots to have individual lots they could own under their names, as opposed to the multifamily we had gone with initially, which would be just condos as opposed to townhomes, which is what we wanted to go with from the beginning.
Okay, basically it's the same then?
Yes,
It's just
sir.
a different classification?
Yep.
It's a financing issue.
Okay, okay,
It's
gotcha.
Also,
Do we have
per-
any elevations on this? I'd like to see this roof pitch that you were talking about.
Yes, sir. I actually did not include any of the elevations in here. I just thought about that, but they are in your packet.
Okay, yes, I think I did see those. So is that on the very top where they had the low roof pitch?
Right. So the idea behind these townhomes is to allow for a sky lounge, which would be somewhat of it would be an area for the owners and their guests to just have a hangout and enjoy each other's company. So we're suggesting something that's going to be unique and new to the city of Granbury, and it's going to be the future of the city, pretty much.
Gotcha. Okay, that's pretty much a covered patio up there then, it looks like. And what's that, what kind of material are you going to use up there for that? Have any idea?
Mm-mm.
Materials, the same as there's out there.
Right.
And they're,
I'm sorry. What do you mean as far as material specifically?
well, I didn't know if that was going to be cloth or
It's probably a nylon on
or some type of nylon that's up there on top.
Not too sure about the overhang, unfortunately.
I mean, that's probably a nylon umbrella top awning,
Right.
I would imagine.
Maybe.
So, these are 3 stories,
3 stories with a sky lounge, so 4.
other 4 stories.
So will they have elevators in each unit?
I believe so. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Each unit will have an elevator?
Yes, sir.
Right, okay.
So basically, what you brought us before is. Sorry. What you brought us before, because I remember asking some of those questions, like the elevators and stuff, it's just the same, you're just going to changing it to be
Right,
townhomes,
we're
which
taking-
I agree with for people in Texas want the plot of land that it's sitting on.
Right.
Absolutely.
But also before, if I recall, was this a project where you were trucking out sewer waste?
So that is a part of it, but right now we're also looking into doing a lift station as well. So we've got a couple different options we're going with, but I believe initially we're going with the pump and haul option, and once the second phase has been completed, the idea is to go with a lift station.
Because they had talked about trucking it out for a while to an
Yeah.
off-site location.
Right, it will be very temporary.
Okay. Okay. That's all I've got, thank you.
Any other questions for commission members? I mean, for the applicant from commission members? If not, thank you, sir. I'll open the public hearing. Do we have anybody that would like to speak on this agenda item? If not, I'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion on the rezoning request, please.
Madam Chair, I'll make a recommendation for approval of the zoning change.
I have a motion by Mr. Hallman to approve the zoning change as presented by the applicant in the city. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Moore. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is D3 tonight. Consider the request of Frank Dale for an SUP to allow for amusement center, commercial outdoors use in a heavy commercial HC zoning district. The property is located at 2440 East US Highway 377. Cody?
This property is located at 2440 East Highway 377. It's 4.9072 acres, and it's platted as Lot 8R of the Aiken Edition. And the proposed use is a SUP amusement center commercial outdoors for pickleball. And also to note that this project had a hearing at ZBA for a special exception for reduced parking, and it was approved. Zoning is heavy commercial. Here's the proposed site plan. And the P&Z is to consider it if it generally conforms to the comprehensive plan and the city objectives and contains requirements and safeguards to protect the adjoining properties. Is this use harmonious and compatible with surrounding existing uses? The surrounding area really consists of commercial and retail areas. It's going to be appropriate considering what was there originally, a small engine repair ATV, four-wheeler, I guess boats and other small engines, watercraft type thing. And a SUP is required for the amusement outdoor. There's going to be proposed 4 outdoor pickleball courts, which is where that is coming from. And this property does have frontage on 377 as well as Old Granbury Road, and we'll have access to both of those entrances. On June 27th, city staff mailed out 14 public notices to property owners within 200 feet and on the municipal tax roll within 200 feet of the subject property. And notice was also placed in the Hood County newspaper on June 22nd. At this time, we have 0 letters for or against. And staff recommends approval of this SUP. And the voting options for tonight: recommend approval of the SUP as presented, recommend approval of the SUP with additional conditions, or recommend denial of the SUP.
Thank you, Cody. I believe the applicant is here and would like to speak. Mr. Dale?
Yes, ma'am. Don't have anything to add, but I'm voting for it.
Commission members have any questions for the applicant? Mr. Dale?
Can
Randy?
you open the elevations, where we can see the elevations of the property? I could not get that to open on mine.
Yeah,
I did not get the elevations in the
yeah, they keep crashing on the
Yeah.
website.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's all I got, was a glimpse.
Site plan on the bottom left-hand side.
Could you turn on that microphone? I think you just got to press it to the red
There
button.
you go.
Thank
On the bottom left-hand side is a restaurant, sports bar per se, 14 TVs in it. The kitchen's in the back, the restaurant part's in the front. Running across the page, halfway up, are 6 indoor courts. And then that L shape forms a courtyard that there's 4 outdoor courts in. So there's 6 indoor and 4 outdoor. And the restaurant kind of overlooks the outdoor. The outdoor are covered with a typical metal canopy. All the pitches are 412. So I don't.
Is this similar to chicken and pickle, like you see in the Metroplex now?
Not quite as big, but yes, sir. Very similar. They have the same type of thing with a couple buildings and an interior courtyard.
Right.
Very similar facility. Very similar.
Right.
I've been to 4 of them, taking notes. So,
So pretty much,
Granbury doesn't. We got the little one going up on the north side. That's a member-only type thing. This is going to be open to everybody. So it's not going to be an exclusive kind of thing, and it'll be a pretty decent little sports bar to go with it.
so in the restaurant, it'd be pretty much fast food, I assume?
I hate to call it bar food, but hamburgers and nachos and chicken
Okay.
tenders and that kind of cuisine. It's not going to be we might have the best burgers in town, but we're not going to do anything fancy.
How many parking spaces do you end up with?
143. I'm in full compliance on the restaurant and the outdoor courts. The problem that I did the special exception on, if that's what you're referring to, were the indoor courts. There's nothing in Granbury's codes that address indoor courts, so it fell into the 1 spot per 100 square feet. So for 14,000 feet, I had 140 spots. I got 6 courts. I got 24 players, and I got 143 spots. Yeah, the ladies down there, Jennifer, they tell me they're working on an addendum to get it through, but at this point, the addendum wasn't there, so I had to get a special exception. I ended up with 145 total spots, I think,
143,
143.
it looks like, yeah. Yeah, the rest of them will be in the restaurant waiting to get on the court, so, okay, thank you, sir.
Eating
Yes,
fast
sir.
food and
Right.
grease, then go exercise. I've got a question. on Old Granbury Road, if we looked at what this is going to do as far as traffic pattern, is it going to, are they going to be able to, when they exit onto Old Granbury Road, just to the right, or are they going to try to cross, or if we, because Old Granbury Road right now is a mess.
It looks like arrows go in and out of both entrances,
It's pretty bad shape.
both directions.
Granbury Road is also, I think, being proposed to be reconstructed and redone by the state or the county.
Mr. Erdman, did you get your question answered? Okay. Any other questions for the applicant or for the city? If not, I'll open the public hearing. Any speakers? I guess, Kira, that would just leave you. If not, we'll close the public hearing and entertain a motion on the SUP request, please.
Chair, I'll move to approve the SUP as presented.
I have a motion by Mr. Hafes to approve the SUP as presented with as presented, yes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Hallman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Dale.
Thank y'all to and I didn't say it because I deal so badly with ultimatums, but this is 4 of the 10 courts, and I hope it makes a little money, but I couldn't take a 40% hit in court revenue and make the thing work. So if I didn't get this, the whole thing was going to die, and everybody I've talked to was so excited about it coming to town that thank y'all for getting that done. So we're off to the races.
Thank you for bringing it to Granbury.
Thank you very much.
All right, the next item on the agenda is E1, the monthly plat approval report from the staff.
Prior to this meeting, we had a preliminary plat for Angie's Alley. Took 2 lots and combined it into one for commercial development. At this time, we haven't had any development application or permits applied for.
Any questions about that to staff? Thank you, Cody. There'd be no further business. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for coming.